What's up, YouTube? I'm trying to make a underwater breathing thingamajiggy. It's called a scuba hookah or hookah scuba hookah, one of those. And yeah, online you can get them for like $2,000, crazy expensive. I'm gonna try and hopefully show you how to make one for like under 100. I mean, so far, but it could get more expensive. It depends on what you can get and how much you can get stuff for. Probably like maybe 400, 300. It depends, but it depends what you've already got. Anyway, let's get to it. So I got this luckily for $10 because the dude was moving house. So I doubt you'll be able to get one of these for $10, or at least maybe not. It's hard to say, but I got it for $10. Awesome. So I figured if it doesn't work, I lost $10. No big deal. Got this for about like, I think it was like 17 or something. It's an oil and water separator. It's not a much oils in here. There's a little bit of grease. It's not a lot, but you know, I don't want to breathe any of that in. So this will separate it, hopefully. I've also packed some cotton inside the end of one of these, just so any like filtrates, it'll filtrate any little bits of crap that this doesn't do. And like, high pressure, it's not going to make much of a difference. First things first, what I did was I just sanded. There was a bunch of rust, so I sanded this so I can probably put adhesive around. And I took this off, and so first things first, I clean this all out and put marine grease in here, because compression does usually build up moisture, and moisture creates rust and issues. So I put some marine grease, just a little bit in there. I might put a little bit more, but as I already noticed, when you run this, you can't run these for very long at all before they start overheating, and that's like the biggest problem. And that's why with all those ones that are super expensive, they just submerge them underwater and then they stay good. So with this, if you can see this, there is gaps along all that. So I touched this and it was insanely hot. I could barely touch it, and that obviously isn't even all the heat that came through it, because it's not really touching great. So I am adding some of the absolute cheapest thermal paste I've got. So if you've got some thermal paste, literally any kind of thermal paste, I'm just going to do it, because I want to try and get the inside temperature out as much as possible. It's obviously going to be, this whole thing's going to be submerged to keep it cool, but we want to keep that as cool as possible, because I want to be able to run this for like 40 minutes, a sort of scuba diving amount of time. So yeah, I'm going to take that off and do that now. And then, other things that I've done so far is I've just put an XT90S on the end, because I plan on using this battery that I made. It's a 36 volt battery, and I'm going to take it from 36 volt to 12 volt with this, and then I'm going to be running it through the XT90. Obviously, you don't have to do any of this. You've got a car battery, it'll run off a car battery because it's 12 volt. So, you could just get a cheap, shitty car battery and then just put that on like some sort of flotation device and have this underwater. So, yeah, let's get to it, and I'll show you what I do next once I'm up to it. So this is the silicon job I've done. I could probably put a bit more bits in certain areas. The top bolts don't matter because they go straight through. There's gaps all around this bit here. They obviously leave a lot of venting for the motor to cool down. Same there, the whole inside is all vented. I think I definitely recommend doing like the top is supposed to be an airtight seal, but the shaft going on the inside of that looks like a space on both sides. So I would put silicone in and push it down and push it up, just both sides. I put a little almost touched silicone, a little like plastic cover over this, because I know it's going to spin, and if I cover it with silicone, the bearings will probably get all jammed up. So I figured plastic cover and silicone, the plastic cover. I might add a bit more silicone once this is all dried, but yeah, I think this is probably like half a tube of silicone, maybe slightly less, but I reckon more is less, if you know what I mean. Just go nuts. Like there's no such thing as too much silicone, as long as you're trying to like leave the fins a little bit so it can cool down, because if you gum that up completely, it's just gonna make it harder to cool down. But yeah, pretty much went all the way around on everything as far as silicone is concerned. I might actually get that, oh no, somewhere that hasn't got too much. Yeah, so I think I'll see how it goes. But yeah, just remember, if you miss a spot and water gets in, it's ruined. I don't know about straight away. It probably will work a little while, because it's only 12 volts. So if a little bit of water gets in, you're probably not totally screwed. But if it gets into the motor and stuff, it's not going to work for that much too long. But yeah, so just
silicon it up heaps, and I'll see how that goes. I might check it tomorrow, and maybe just put a little extra bits of silicon around, little bits that look like they could use a little bit more. Because yeah, better to do too much than not enough. Because not enough, it's screwed. So yeah, good luck with that one. And yeah, I used silicon adhesive, just so it's extra sticky, extra strong, and hopefully, yeah, and like all around the bolts, because these bolts go right through into the actual case. And I think, yeah, I think with, which one was it? This one, you got to silicon the whole inside, because there's like a line that goes in where this part connects in. So yeah, good luck with that one, and hopefully it works for you as well as it hopefully will work for me.
So a good way to find out if the underwater breathing machine thingy is sealed properly, because obviously any leaks and it's gone, is well, this is what I'm going to do, because I can't think of another way to test it without dunking in the water. So I got a really long rigid hose. It's got to be rigid, because if it's flexible, it'll just close when it sucks. Connected to the vacuum cleaner, so when you turn it on, the idea between the long ass hose is that I can have the vacuum cleaner out of earshot over here somewhere, and then have this all the way, hello Naomi, all the way over and on this, lay it down, so that when that's on, I can hear it going around one of these little holes, if there is one. I tried it before by just like sucking on this with my mouth, and there was a little tiny gap just in here when I turned it on. This port here, not only is it the suction port for this thing, but it actually is it's like the bottom chamber. So if you haven't closed off this side, it will still pull through this whole thing to here. This area here is this whole area in here, which connects everything. So everything is connected through this hole, as far as like air. So if you pull through here, you will know. You don't have to worry about this because this is sealed, so it doesn't really matter about blocking that, because if it's not sealed, then your pump's broken. But yeah, so if you pull air through here, not through here, through here, then you'll know if it's all good. Alright, so this is how well it works. You can probably hear that. There's a little gap in there, I guess. Good news is though, once I got that, I think that's it. Yep, switch it off. It is outstanding how well this vacuum cleaner thing works. So at the start, there was like a tiny gap there, plug that, and now I can hear one coming from in between the cables. So it's pulling it inside the heat shrink, going all the way in. So it's obviously sealed here, but just like, it's just mustn't be sealed enough in between these cables. So I'm just gonna glug this whole thing up with silicon, really squish it in there. Incredible though, this is a good way to find out where the leaks are. Alright, so pan it black, so hopefully it doesn't rust or anything, because I plan on using this in the sea. So yeah, just sort of zip tie it on top. I don't think this is going to be enough. I think I'll need 2 of these, but I've got left a little bit of space so that the thing can breathe with water. I don't 100% trust it, so instead of putting it in the pool, I'm going to put it in here, and wish me luck. Oh, I don't know if it fits in here. Oh, it doesn't. Maybe diagonally. Kind of diagonally fits. Either way, that should be good enough, and I'll see if it works. This should keep it cool enough. I'll fill after maybe 5 minutes and see how it goes. I'm going to jump in and see how it goes. So this is probably a good time to talk about the stuff that I may have missed. So first thing, as you can see, the cable with the XT90 on it, usually there's a switch there with a relay also connected when you unscrew those, and like a temperature sensor. So I just removed the cables to the temperature sensor, just cut them at the base, and I also removed the relay and just hardwired it around the switch. So I literally have the positive and negative directly soldered and heat shrinked to the cable, so it's easy to seal. And because I figured if I'm going to have a switch, it's going to be near the battery, not underwater. Also, I got the regulator and the hose from AliExpress for $70 for both of them. That's including shipping and everything. So all in all, I think I spent $110, including all the fittings and all that extra stuff. Incredibly cheap, and obviously you can use a
a waterproof box and a car battery. So I hope this helps everyone. Like, subscribe, all that, and yeah, have fun.
So it's worked really well. It's a little bit warm, not very warm at all. In fact, this is maybe a little bit warmer. But yeah, I can definitely tell there's some air leaks. You can hear them all. But like, to be fair, I kind of slapped it all together. And as long as this has a bit of tension in it, the water will never come in. But that's definitely something to think about. You don't want to turn this off. Well, I don't anyway. I don't want to turn this off with it out of pressure. Another thing, I definitely recommend these stretchy hoses, because if you're just relaxing and then go and you suddenly want like massive breath, it just shrinks the hose and gives you that extra like pump. Because like with the last time I tried this with a normal hose, like these kind of hoses, and it just like, if you need a big breath, it might not have the capacity. Like the pressure's there, but the volume isn't. And this gives you a lot of volume, because as you're breathing in, it just shrinks to give you like, you know, to maintain that volume. So it's quite nice. It's a lot more natural. And yeah, I don't know how long that was for, but it's like a little warm. There's no way it would get hotter than that. Like before, when I had it on without it being in the water, it was cooking in like 10 seconds, 20 seconds. So that's sustainable. I might yeah, this is good. I'll see actually if it floats in the pool, because I did want to test that out. See if I can get this away from it, because I don't know if it will float. I think that it might be a bit too heavy. Yeah, it's a little bit too heavy. So I'll need to get a second one of those. Need to get a second one of these. I'll just double it up. It'll be twice as thick, and I think that'll probably be enough. Maybe I'll put something on the sides or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, it definitely needs a little bit more foam. But all in all, great success. That worked exactly how I wanted it to. And yeah, I saved myself like $1,000 and something. And yeah, I think that'll be good. And if you can breathe more calmly, I was like probably. So I wasn't like, you know, calmly breathing or anything. I wanted to really, you know, see if it's enough. And it's pretty cool when you really like give it a big breath, you see the hose shrink. And yeah, it's good. But I guess if you're at its maximum distance and you breathe in really massively, the hose is going to get shorter. So that's definitely something to think about. But I mean, that's a massive depth when you think about that's just being deep. Like, because that's going to be floating above me, just like on top of me. I might even just put this whole thing in a bucket, because the bucket's going to float so well. And then I can just have that hanging under the bucket, and I can just chuck my battery inside the bucket. Yep, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to get a waterproof bucket. And then just chuck the battery in there. I'm going to have snacks and all that sort of stuff. Waterproof bucket it is. Yep.